down, and certainly in this subcommittee as well, about those who believe there's a need to reduce the number of hours required or the structured training that's currently required for an ATP or a restricted ATP. Those are attempts to address a market forces issue with regard to pilot supply with a safety provision, which I do not believe is what the flying public wants us to do. If you look more on the economic side, it is a problem for the industry that we're going to have to work through together to provide service to small communities at an affordable rate. We're not blind to the fact that if the airplanes cost more, the fuel costs more, the pilots cost more, eventually the cost of that operation to a small community will make it unaffordable for those who want to access that. Hence, the Essential Air Service and other programs that are meant to offset some of that cost. So I think, a lot of attention could be focused on that to see if we can find ways to make it more affordable to fly into those things, but reducing safety. And by the way, we're firm believers that just reducing the number of hours or reducing structured flight training will not address the problem of attracting pilots to the job. That's not going to solve the problem, no matter what anyone says. I know what attracts pilots to the job, and it's a good work-life balance, career progression, and a fair wage.
Captain, I want you to know that I agree with you. And so many things that, so often when government looks at associations or unions or labor groups, they're labeled as the other side, where you are the ones, you are flying that plane, you are in that seat, you have the ability to speak at a level of expertise that we need to hear. And I just want you to know, I do appreciate you. And because all of us fly a lot, we are so appreciative of your service, sir. I want to ask this question to the panel. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that the hurricane response, we will look back on as a landmark evolution of drone usage in this country. The University of Michigan's College of Engineers is building an outdoor fly lab for testing autonomous aerial vehicles called the M-Air. I wanted to ask this panel, what are some of the challenges faced by educational institutions today as they look at R&D in the UAS air space?
I will start. In terms of challenges, I think there are tremendous innovative ideas out there. And often what we are learning is the best way to go forward is through prototyping and actually put those ideas in place and document what lessons we learn and identify those things that maybe we did not know prior to conducting that particular research. And to some degree, collaboration with the government agencies, industry will help identify the research requirements going forward. And I think that's how we can take what is happening in academia and actually transfer it into regulatory and safety requirements.
And in that vein, to ensure that we do not stifle this industry, what are some of the recommendations that you have for when it comes to regulations? The time frame, we often hear that our regulations stifle the growth, and this industry is moving very rapidly. Do you have any recommendations for us? You all are not into the drone industry?
Ma'am, I sit on the Drone Advisory Committee. I'm a member of the Drone Advisory Committee, and we struggle with that question every day.
Okay.
The industry wants a lot of things. They want flight beyond visual sight. They want flight at night. They want flight over populations. These are all very desirous of the industry to make more money, but we also have to take a focus on all the challenges to doing that safely. The most recent example of success is the ID and tracking ARC results are now out, and that ARC went, we were a member of that aviation rulemaking committee as well. It went wonderful. And now the FAA has those recommendations, and we should be seeing rulemaking in very short order, which will enable a lot of the things the industry wants to do. That's the first and most present example of we're actually making progress. As long as the industry and the FAA keep coordinating at the very high level they're doing right now, I think we're going to get there. We're going to have to be measured, but we're going to get there.
Thank you so much. My time is up, and I yield back.
Gentlelady's time has expired. The chair begrudgingly recognizes the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Perry, for 5 minutes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your indulgence, begrudging indulgence. Gentlemen, thanks for being here. I'm going to stick with the line of questioning from the gentlelady from the great state of Michigan. And let me just say before I start, I was encouraged that the committee adopted an amendment I had last year, the reauthorization bill, which provided the administrator